today we've got something special in store for you. The grandest spectacle, the greatest show of all, Johnny Bang Bang Show. Here's your host, Robert Gifford.
That's right. It's me. I am the one and only. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Bang Bang is the game. Robert Gifford is the name. As always, across from me today is Grant, the Mark Clark, a.k.a. Sonny Batunsky. And today we got a special guest hailing all the way from somewhere in Illinois. Not 100% sure where. Hale. I have no idea what your last name is.
Hale Brown.
Hale Brown.
Hale Brown, actually.
I like it.
Huge Michigan fan. Michigan fan.
No, the opposite.
I must be a big Notre Dame fan.
Illinois.
Illinois. Oh,
Illinois.
really?
Missouri fan.
Yeah.
Missouri
So
fan.
you're the guy. You're the guy. That's cool.
We have a club. We have a club.
There's
We
like
meet
four.
every-
There's four people. They meet every Tuesday.
Yeah, we meet every week.
I like it. Grant and Hale, they went to college together, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell, what have we been?
We've been boys for a long time.
Yeah.
At Quincy University.
Yeah. So we've been
great prestigious
probably been
college.
friends for 8 years now.
Yeah.
Nice.
He was one of my groomsmen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're in the
so,
wedding. You made the wedding. If you make the wedding, you're official.
Yeah, I was his wife's favorite groomsman because I was the one with the mustache.
This dude if throwback, if you know what the show Rugrats, the character Phil DeVille, who just had like one little strand of hair, that was Hale. And he had a weird mustache.
Yeah, and I had the
Curly mustache.
yeah the
At the end, it kind of went up.
handlebar mustache. Yeah.
Nice. I like it. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things today. This is a special show for us.
Very special.
So this is not that we're formal by any means, but this is an even less formal show than what we normally do because we're on Thursday night. This is what we want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about AEW Forbidden Door, a door that is forbidden.
It's forbidden, but it's open.
But it's open. That's kind of what it means, right? We're going to be talking about predictions, the matches. We're going to run down which ones we're excited about the most. We'll go through our prop bets as always, some of those things that we can think of off the top of our head. But because Hale's here today and he's a diehard AEW guy, diehard indie guy, my gut tells me that I'm outnumbered today. I am a WWE man, businessman. I am a Vince McMahon guy. I feel like we're probably on opposite ends of the spectrum, are we not?
I actually will say I do think WWE's been doing really well lately. Like
Okay.
I really like the product that they've been coming out with lately, and I think that there are a lot of things they do better than AEW right now. I think there are some things that AEW does better than WWE, but I think it's kind of a nice mix now.
Let's kind of go off track here. Let's talk about that first, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah,
Just because we have you here.
Yeah.
What is it you think AEW does specifically better than WWE?
So I think the in-ring storytelling, I think with its bigger, more higher profile matches is more spot on with AEW. Like just the stuff that I'm thinking of MJF, the stuff that he does like constantly, week in, week out, like when he wrestles, like during pay-per-views, everything like that. Like in ring, I feel like there's a competent story being told every single time in the ring. WWE, I feel like a lot of the times, the one thing I do like about WWE is that a lot of the matches that I think are kind of wacky and goofy aren't in WWE as much as AEW. I'm thinking of the what was the Jeff Jarrett
the concession stand match that just took place. Yeah.
I can honestly trust that WWE at this point right now wouldn't do like a match like that. And
unless John Moxley was there.
I'm okay with Goofy and stuff like that, but now when you have back-to-back weeks, especially because Aubrey Edwards wrestled like
with Karen Jarrett.
Yeah, with Karen Jarrett last week, and it's like a lot that can be like a little much.
But that's kind of like the circus show part of it to go along with the MJF and the, some of that other stuff.
Right.
I actually disagree with you to a certain. I agree with you 100% on the MJF. Okay, I think, but that's because, and shocker, MJF's my favorite wrestler in AEW.
Right.
Because he is more of a traditional storyteller. He does do the in-ring stuff. It's not the 450, the 580s, the 720s, it's not just the high flying spots, but let's do 10 of them at a time. I want each spot to matter. I want the story to matter. And MJF does that. And we were talking a little bit off camera. I think AEW does a really good job with their big high profile matches of making the stories matter.
Yeah.
That Pillars match, especially the ode to the mentors.
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
nice.
So I do think they do a good job with those things. I actually think WWE, and maybe it is just as of late, but like WWE does on the big stage when it comes time, because, forever Raw didn't have the big matches that they needed to have. Raw was kind of a hard watch. It's starting to kind of get some momentum lately.
Yeah.
But I always thought pay-per-views when it matters. I always thought WWE superstars and the matches showed up. I always felt that way.
That's what I meant. Like, just lately, I feel like WWE, especially on a lot of storylines, has been knocking out of the park. Like the Bloodline stuff, I love. Like, what they've been doing there has just been awesome. In my opinion, probably the best stuff in wrestling right now.
Maybe history as far as storylines go.
Yeah, probably in history. Especially WWE landscape, definitely in the past 10 years. Off of what I remember us watching, like especially when we were in college. Like since then till now, this is the best stuff I've seen WWE do. So it's
I feel like AEW. I'll give them kind of a nod when it comes to maybe not as much anymore. AEW definitely beginning the fans. They're as much a part of that show as anything, right?
Right.
And they're definitely still energetic. I just mean like WWE's fans are starting to come up a little bit, and like because I thought Monday night was incredible. The pop that LA Knight just got, you know what I mean? They're still going ape shit for Cody. They're still going ape shit for Seth Rollins. And now I know a lot of that's kind of triggered a little bit because of their songs. But anyways, I think AEW, it's a damn fun show to be a part of just because that crowd never stops from top to bottom. They make up for the circus matches.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think, Grant? What do you like better about AEW than WWE?
Everything and all. No, I think a lot of it. And
you like the car crashes.
I love it. Yeah, I love the car crashes. Like I think how many times did I mention exploding barbed wire death match before we even started the show? Like I love that stuff. One thing I like with AEW is the giving, some smaller guys some chances to. You'll have your, you're going to see your elites, your Blackpool Combat Club, your main guys, but then you're going to have sprinkled in Danhausen, or someone some little guy. Maybe you don't even know, like Captain Sean Dean. They had for a while with CM Punk and MJF, where Sean Dean got 2 wins over MJF, and it was like, oh wow, things like that. They involve these little guys. Where WWE, it's like we're gonna see the bloodline.
There's more of a predictability.
Judgment Day, Seth. We're gonna see all these kind of guys, and that's kind of what we're gonna go with. No, but I mean, I can agree. Especially WWE's been knocking it out of the park recently, to the point where probably a couple of years ago, we'd be talking and be like, "Oh, did you watch Raw or SmackDown?" No, I checked Twitter, or I watched the highlights the next day on YouTube. Now it's kind of like, okay, I'm tuning in. I'm making sure I'm sitting down for the pay-per-views instead of checking Twitter.
Right.
I'm enjoying it.
And I think the thing that has kind of soured me a little bit to AEW is the AEW used to be, like you said, used to give the voice to the smaller people compared to like WWE. But I don't feel like that's the case anymore because Miro, prime example, is a guy that gets constant heat or not heat, hype. People are constantly
hyping him up, and then they never do anything.
They never do anything with him, and it's like this on Collision was the first time we've seen him on TV since,
and they went nuts. They went nuts,
and he loved it.
Yeah,
you could tell he was enjoying wrestling.
The only thing is that I wish WWE does something with LA Knight. I have in my gut feeling, I have
you're worried about it.
90% sure that Logan Paul will win, the Money in the Bank, but there's that 10% that it's LA Knight. I want LA Knight to win.
Me too.
I feel like he needs to win.
I don't.
What we went last week. We went through and we're like, who's gonna win this match? It's like there's one answer.
Yeah.
And it's LA Knight. And it's
well, that's because we didn't know Logan Paul was even gonna be in it, right?
Yeah. It's like once Logan Paul came out, I'm like, yeah, he's winning.
Because I was actually after watching Monday's performance and how over Judgment Day is as a whole now, Dom is the thing. Dom is the most heated heel in all of wrestling, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people hate Dom. Everybody collectively hates Dom, where MJF has his fans, right? With that being said, I'm starting to feel like Finn it feels like he's important again.
Yeah.
You know, Rhea is already on top of the mountain right now, right? Damian Priest, I could see getting the nod and winning the Money in the Bank, which could set up a Logan Paul LA Knight or something at SummerSlam, something. But I don't think LA Knight needs it. I would love to see him carry that around for a year, just constantly threatening people.
Right. I just think he'd be the most fun person to have with it. I have the fear that if Logan Paul gets it, we just won't ever see him.
Well, but that's the thing, right? When you do see him and he's getting ready to cash in on something, people are going to hate that, right?
Right.
And I think he's just naturally over as a heel, which is kind of his natural charisma.
Yeah.
Not to get too far off topic of AEW, because I want to go back to what you have, and then we'll wrap this up, get to our fantasy stuff. I'm with you. See, I can be. This is how I look at myself. I love WWE, but it was a hard watch for a while.
Yeah.
And I think they've been hitting. I think they've been hitting home runs this year with their pay-per-views, and a lot of it is Triple H, right?
Yeah,
most of it is Triple H. And I was the first person that was like, man, I defend Vince, I defend Vince, I defend Vince, and I will to my grave, unfortunately, because he's engraved in who I am.
Yeah.
But with that being said, the TV product is much, much better.
Oh, yeah.
Much better. And you're getting people like, you know, Ciampa, LA Knight, which, by the way, I didn't know LA Knight was in his 40s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
there really is a sense of urgency with him.
I remember we were watching him at Impact.
Yeah.
Like,
I had no idea.
He was in
Impact.
WWE a long time ago, too, in developmental, and then
something must have happened,
it
I
just
heard.
didn't work.
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to say, though, is that when AEW came out, I was like, shit, this is real. Like, this is a legitimate, not just contender, but like, you know, they're entertaining TV. There's still of a 2-hour show, there's like 30 minutes of it that I care about. And a lot of that happens with Raw too. It's a 3-hour show, but at least I care about all those characters to some degree. A lot of these characters, you know, I remember when Hook naturally got over.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, this guy's gonna be the next big thing. And then it flutters away. Wardlow, he gets over. Next big thing, it flutters away. Danhausen, next big thing, he kind of flutters away. Like, here's my thing. I think they do a great job with Darby Allin has kind of kept it. But where, in my opinion, Orange Cassidy, even though he's kind of plateaued.
Right.
Where I thought Orange Cassidy was going to be a part of their big, you know what I mean? And he is a big star within their programming. But as far as like, I don't think his stock has went up any further than when he first got on the scene.
Yeah. Right.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So like, there's something AEW is not doing. They're not committing because they're bringing in so many people. They're not committing to these guys long term. I
think another guy that's a prime example of that is Sammy Guevara. Because Sammy Guevara, to me, has just been a roller coaster ever since he's been in AEW. Because sometimes they're hot on him, and sometimes like they just want to forget about him. And
Sammy Guevara could have been AEW's Dom.
Yeah,
he could have been that guy, just slicky, you know, kind of people hate him. Spanish God. He was kind of with Jericho for a while, just kind of getting rubs all the time, but not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a proven wrestler now.
Right,
but anyways, I just kind of wanted to run through that because it's an interesting topic. Fantasy matchups. So we always like to do something a little different. We did our Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
And then we did the next 4. So we thought that was kind of fun. Everybody's kind of got their big 4.
Right.
But then who would be your next 4? You know what I mean?
Take away like the standard people like you could think of for Mount Rushmore. It's like, oh, who you got left? Who you got?
Yeah, exactly. So it's that next level of, is Kurt Angle in? Is it Chris Jericho? Is it, where do they fall?
Right.
Side note, Chris Jericho top 10 all time?
Yeah.
I think he's top 20.
Just the way he reinvents himself and
no.
longevity.
No. I think I can name you 10 guys bigger than Jericho.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jericho bigger than Triple H? I'd say no.
No.
Jericho bigger than Undertaker? That's a no, right?
I'm not an Undertaker fan, so I think Kane's better.
You put Kane in your top 10, wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't put him in my top 10.
What are you doing?
I wouldn't.
Wait, you'd put Kane in your top 10?
No, I wouldn't. Hey, Kane went to Quincy University. So
he did go to Quincy University.
Go Hawks.
Shout out Kane.
Go Hawks, baby. Woo! Hawks fly high.
Why is our camera going in though? That's weird. I didn't know I was doing that. Anyways, I think we could name 10 better.
I think we can make it
too.
Both sides. You're like not top 10. I think there's an argument for.
I think there's an argument. I think you can make, if you were to run and put all the stuff side by side, you could get there.
Yeah.
I just don't think it is.
I'd be so upset making a Mount Rushmore because I feel like I'm forgetting people.
Oh, don't
dude.
worry. Don't worry. Rob had one concise, and I was like, I got 1A, 1B,
Yeah, he had-
1C.
Right. Because I'm thinking, I'm like, you can name 4 guys in the Attitude Era that you could easily put on a Mount Rushmore, and then it's like, then you're excluding Ric Flair, then you're excluding.
I think the 4 is locked. I don't think you can. In my opinion,
who'd you have?
I think the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling. Period.
Yeah.
Period. You can tell whatever order you want.
Yeah.
But I think it's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
I think it's Hulk Hogan. I think it's The Rock. Now you could argue that The Undertaker is in there because he's done more for the business long term. You could argue Ric Flair should be in there in that spot. But to me, there's no more arguing this. Number 4 is John Cena.
Yeah. I mean, that's
He did.
I think the only thing
He held it together there was no other company.
see, like for me, and it's like that's a good.
That's not my personal list.
Yeah.
That's just what I think it is.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a solid like Mount Rushmore. It's like for me because I'm a big Shawn Michaels fan.
That's my favorite all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm dying on the inside for saying that Shawn Michaels is not deserving to be on a Mount Rushmore because I'm like, I really want to put him in there. Like
I desperately, dude. You can't. I tried to make an argument for him so much, but he didn't move the needle in '96 when he got the ball against NWO, and that's hard to do, but he didn't.
Yeah. When he was the top guy.
Or you could just be like me and put my favorite wrestler in the top, and I don't care what anybody else says.
Kenny Omega.
No, Macho Man.
Oh yeah, that's right, Macho Man. He's in the top 10. See, I don't think Jericho's bigger than Macho Man, but maybe he is. See, those are where the names start getting a little closer to me. All right, let's go through this. We've all got 3 matchups here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What we're gonna do here? Let me get the camera back on me here. Oh yeah. Basically, what we're gonna do. The rundown here is Hale, Grant, and myself. We'll do one at a time.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Let's do
we'll rotate here, and I'm gonna since you're our guest, Hale. I'm gonna let you go first. These are our fantasy matchups of any era. You can take. You know, we were joking around. I was saying I'm taking '96 Jake the Snake versus modern day Sabu. That would not be a matchup I'd want to see. By the way,
Tony Khan's announcements versus Raw's general manager.
Yeah, dude, I like that. So Hale, you get to go first. What is your top 3?
I want to before Hale starts. Sorry to interrupt. So this can be, we did discuss last week. It could be a promo if you just want to have a promo.
Just whatever you want to see. And one of mine is a promo.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
for me, I just did my top 3 wrestlers of all time, like my top 3 favorite wrestlers and who I would want to see them wrestle, like who I think would be awesome matches to have them wrestle. First off, my favorite wrestler of all time is Minoru Suzuki. I think
Murder Grandpa.
I think the dude is awesome. I think he's a great, just absolute monster, especially when you look at his MMA accolades and everything like that. Like he's a legitimate tough guy. I was thinking like a dream matchup for him. The biggest dream matchup I can think of was I would want to see him fight an ECW guy just because of the hardcore elements, just from being, the way that Minoru Suzuki is. And I feel like a guy that would like meet his stature, like meet kind of his like brutalness, kind of ferocity in the ring would be Taz. Like old school prime ECW Taz versus Minoru Suzuki in a hardcore match. I mean, just a normal match, just a normal ECW match. Like I think it would be awesome.
I agree. That'd be pretty darn fun to watch because that's you got Taz always had the intensity. Minoru Suzuki's going to bring it. Just to see them just smack each other and just laugh at each other while they do it.
Right. I mean, Taz was such I remember going back and like watching like old ECW, and Taz was just such like a menacing like person in the ring, and just to see him like go up against another person, really the only person in my opinion that I could see just matching that intensity, that like ferocity would be ECW Taz. Like I still remember when he went through the entryway with Bam Bam Bigelow.
Beast from the East.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
I love Bam Bam Bigelow.
It's like, I feel like that would just be a solid matchup.
Rob, should I get my head tattooed like him?
Oh, dude, please do.
Right, cool. Allison, I'm sorry. I'm going to do it.
That or just your next girl, you have to name her Bam Bam.
Bam Bam. Bam Bam. Oh,
like the Flintstones.
That's a good nickname, though, no matter what.
Or you shave your head like Minoru Suzuki does.
Make the outline.
Yeah.
With some patterns.
Like the sketches.
Yeah, I would do it. That's cool. I like it.
Your wife is so lucky to have you.
Hey, Thumbs up to that one. I like that.
That's solid.
I'd watch it.
I thought of that one on my way here.
It's so interesting to me. So
I
this,
thought of that one on the way. Didn't give you a week in advance or a couple days in advance. Just on the way here, I thought of it.
On the way here, I thought about that one.
this is why I love professional wrestling, and at the same time, it scratches my head because like we're different people. And with that being said, it's like Taz would never show up on any of my lists for anything. I never found him to be believable. I'm not a big. He's too. I am a sizist. I'm a sizist, but like Shawn Michaels he broke the mold. Those guys did, but like at least he had like a physique and all that stuff. Taz, don't get me wrong, Taz is great. I think he's earned my respect.
Right.
But like when he came to WWE, I was like, of all the guys that they could have had, like this is the guy. I didn't get it, but like now I'm a little older. I respect it and understand it.
Have you watched any of his matches on the ECW?
The truth of the matter is, no, I haven't, and I know that I would be.
So Grant could probably attest to me on this here.
I know Taz as a commentator.
The go-to match for old school ECW Taz is ECW versus Bam Bam Bigelow. I cannot remember the pay-per-view it was. It was
probably like barely legal or something.
Now, was it a match, like a traditional match, or is it like an ECW match? Crazy.
Well, there's nothing like, they might throw a chair like every once in a while.
That's fine.
But like it's a brawl.
Yeah.
It's essentially a brawl.
It's just a brawl.
And I think that's like because you know how Bam Bam Bigelow is. Big dude.
Yep. And they both lay their shit in.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. And that's why I like Taz now.
And it's, especially if you watch that match, Taz comes over as such an imposing force, even though he's realistically so much smaller than Bam Bam Bigelow.
Okay.
And it's like, he comes off as such an intense personality, especially at like prime ECW.
Dude, just him walking to the ring with the FTW title and the hood over.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it made me like looking back on it. It makes me so upset they didn't make it, but I understand why he didn't make it because it's WWE. It's so you got to fit the mold a little bit.
Well, and see, my argument has always been the reason he didn't make it is, and creative, it goes a long way, right? But with that being said, is that I always felt like ECW guys, NXT guys. I used to make this argument because everybody used to be like, "Oh, NXT guys go up to the main roster and they get lost in the shuffle." And yeah, that's true to a certain extent. But I always thought that the ones that didn't get lost is because they were sharks. And I always thought these guys that came up from ECW or NXT, it was like these are minnows swimming with sharks now. And I'm very biased, guys. But that's just how I feel. I feel that WWE at the end of the day is where the big time. This is before AEW,
right?
But like this is, and I still feel that way. I still feel like if you had a choice, that's why I was shocked to a certain extent that Jay didn't go, but he fits more in AEW.
Who Jay White?
Jay White. He fits more in AEW, so I get that.
I was shocked he didn't go to WWE.
But I thought with the current regime, he might try WWE. But yeah, no, respect, props. It's just different tastes, man, different standards.
Yeah, I love it.
Grant, tell me your first one, buddy.
All right, so I'm going to go, and Rob, you know me, you said 3, and I have like 12. So
he's got 1A.
If I can, after we go through, if I can do a couple
honorary mentions,
I'll be quick with them. But my first one, this one instantly when we thought dream matchups, I want to see it happen. Match type, last man standing. Okay.
Oh, you went types.
Oh, I have types for most of them. This is going to be Big E's dream.
Okay.
So big men just smacking me on it. Walter or Gunther, which you would like to go, versus Stan Hansen.
Stan Hansen.
Do you know who Stan Hansen
I
is?
do not. Please educate me.
Just legend, just big. I mean, pretty much was that like he was a stereotypical like when you
what
think of,
organization was he best in?
Oh, I mean Japan.
Yeah.
Spent most of his time in Japan. Never didn't really make a mark, but when go back and watch it, he's just an intensity.
He was in WCW for a bit.
Yeah, but
just, who? As Stan Hansen?
I think it was Stan Hansen.
But the finisher wasn't just a clothesline.
Okay.
Like
he was just, I mean, just a brawler, just an old, like had
the
cowboy gimmick.
Would wrestle with chewing tobacco in his mouth.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And just thinking of those two just battering each other.
Yeah.
We all loved.
Oh, yeah, I know.
At WrestleMania, this last WrestleMania, the triple threat with Gunther, McIntyre, and Sheamus. We loved the fact it was going to be hard hitting. This is like a dream.
I would compare him to just Walter, but Yeah, exactly. There.
I'm gonna show.
Instead of chopping, we're Larry's.
Yeah.
Hansen
Just
right
just
there.
instead of like a chop, he's just doing a straight like punch, kick, like
just beating each
strong
other
arm
up.
lariat. Like that's it.
Just big men smacking meat.
That's just two big guys going at it.
Gunther and Stan Hansen.
I would love it.
I noticed that after the wedding, Gunther has put on the weight a little bit more. He's not as he was. He's not, but he's not as skinny as he was.
I liked when he was bigger.
I do too. I think
I-
it's better for him
I actually think like losing a little bit of weight was good for him.
Yeah.
for the
Like,
stamina in the matches.
Yes, but like I think he was too skinny there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like if you want to be a big imposing threat, like it's like
He got married.
Yeah, it's like
When,
you let him get a little
the
bit.
ring general.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's still tall, a big guy that way. But when he was like a little bit bigger bodied,
But his
you
whole
saw him
gimmick
walking
is, I'm
and
going to
he was-
stretch you out. I'm going to
Yeah.
beat the hell out of you. I'm not
Yeah.
here to like.
Yeah.
That was Stan Hansen.
Yeah.
That was
Like,
Stan
that-
Hansen.
I remember
was-
Stan
yeah.
Hansen now after
So like
seeing
that's my first one. That's like
Stan Hansen.
I just want to
Of
see
all the
people-
thousands of wrestlers,
But-
Stan
But when you go
Hansen.
back and look at old school, that's like he was like a strong style guy back before strong style was a thing.
Okay.
He was laying it in.
I like it because I love Thatcher.
Yeah.
I love like that match that him and Riddle had
The,
Yeah.
in the was it a dungeon? It was it in
Fight
NXT?
Pit,
Fight Pit, dude.
yeah.
I love that style.
Yeah, and Stan Hansen. The only thing is he's not as technical.
Yeah.
Like, he's not really like a technical guy, but he's just a guy that's just going to come in there and just lay it in.
I see Stan Hansen and like Blackjack Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
right.
they would have been a
That-
tag
hey,
team,
that
right?
was that was kind of on there. That was another person. I was like, ooh, I would like to see
That's
JBL.
that's
versus
one
them.
B, right?
Just that's one F. I got more. I got way more than that.
All right. I like it. I'm with it. That's
Rob, you know I ain't bringing no.
I
old
feel
crap
like
here. I'm bringing
dude,
some hard cuts.
you know what? This is why I love the show because you guys. I lost my camera here. What the hell? Sorry. There we go. You guys are the indie darlings. You guys are going to be for our indie fans. So and so. I'm going to be mainstream as mainstream gets. All right. So my first one, I was going to go with Macho Man, your dude, versus Seth Rollins. I thought that would have just been an amazing kind of go, but we put parameters on this.
That match would have been. Every single thing would have been planned out, and it would have been fantastic.
I disagree with that.
No, because that's how Macho Man was.
Well, that's the problem, right? Yes, okay, yeah. So Macho Man would have had that match.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Macho Man did. Yeah, I think Seth Rollins is more of an, he likes to kind of, yeah. I'm more of that guy because Shawn Michaels was that guy.
Call it on the spot.
Call it in the spot. If you can call it in the spot and still put together WrestleMania 25, which in my opinion is the greatest match of all time.
Get the F out of here. That
I'm telling you, WrestleMania 25.
hell, you know what the best greatest
Taker
wrestling match
and
is.
Sean.
It's that one.
Nope.
Taker and Sean.
It's that one.
WrestleMania 3.
Streak
that
one.
one.
with Taker and Sean.
Actually, yeah, it's that one.
WrestleMania 3, Pontiac Silverdome, opening match, Intercontinental Championship,
Ricky the Dragon
Steamboat, Macho Man,
You
Randy
can't
Savage.
because they planned it all out.
I don't care.
every-
You plan it all out. It's
Which
still
it actually is
fantastic.
amazing that they remembered it all. But so I was gonna go with that Macho Man and Seth Rollins, and I was like, you know what? We had the parameters of where you can only use these guys once. So I'm gonna go Macho Man versus Randy Orton. I just think that technical, the way Randy Orton can kind of have a good match with anybody, but Macho Man can be the high flying, the change of pace, the speed, where Randy Orton can be more of the technical. But that whole storyline and build, you got the emotional from Macho Man, right? If you could throw Miss Elizabeth in there, I don't care. Randy Orton is like, in prime villain stage.
Randy Orton punt kicks Miss Elizabeth.
Dude, sign me up. I'm here for it. I'm here
Randy,
for
why'd
it.
you do it, Randy?
I'm here for it, baby.
Randy Bobandy.
I'm here for it.
He's Randy Orton reminds me like so much of Jake the Snake.
Yes,
And
yes,
and
I
it's-
totally agree
and
with
it's-
that.
And it's like I know Jake the Snake and Macho Man had great matches back then.
This
So
Tuesday in
it's one of
Texas?
those things where it's like
Tuesday and Tech. Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I think it just is almost like a fit in, like
So-
take.
It fits.
Yeah.
It
So
just
how
fits.
you thought, this is just one I won't go into depth, how you were thinking with Rollins. I had Macho Man versus AJ Styles.
See?
Yeah.
But you have to use it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a better one.
Okay.
No, actually, that was. Is that really? That's the only Macho Man I actually had on there
Okay.
because I just couldn't think of anybody else I wanted him to wrestle.
I have a lot that I think Macho Man could do. See, Macho Man, in my opinion, those are the greatest performers of all time because they
Right.
haven't a match with anybody.
Right.
Right? So, all right, Hale, what do you got? Give us your second round, man.
So I am gonna steal one guy that you mentioned here. This is more of my WWE mainstream pick here,
Okay.
just because Shawn Michaels would be like I said, love Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels would be my second pick here. If I look at any wrestler that Shawn Michaels did not have the chance to fight, I guess this could actually still happen.
Well, your first one could still happen too. Taz and Minoru Suzuki could still fight.
I don't know if I want to watch
Forbidden Door
that.
next year, yeah.
I don't know if I want to watch that.
Murder Grandpa times 2, and then they become a tag team and take the belts off of the guns down the road somehow.
I could see that happening.
I don't know if I want to watch that. But this one, I actually like. It wouldn't shock me if this happened, but it's one of the. I would say Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins.
All right, so I gotta jump it. That's my number 2.
Was that your number 2?
So now you're definitely my guy, dude.
Okay, Rob, you got to
So-
figure out a new one though.
All right, I'll figure out a new one, but that was my number 2. That I called the audible because it was
Right.
going to be Rollins and Macho Man. So
Right.
let's talk why.
So for me, like Shawn Michaels, like growing up, I didn't get to see Shawn Michaels in the 90s. I saw Shawn Michaels when he came back from his back injury, and
Oh, and he's still your favorite wrestler of all time?
yes,
That's incredible because he was
favorite WWE wrestler.
Right,
Minoru
right.
Suzuki.
Okay.
Yeah.
fair enough, but that's incredible because he was so much better
Oh yeah.
in the 90s.
Oh yeah. Well, once I got WWE Network, when I got older,
you
it's
got
like
to
that-
see it.
Yeah, that's when you get to go back and go, wow, he was. His matches against Bret
Man.
Hart, Stone Cold.
Before he found
Undertaker.
God and he had that grit to him, his promos were better, his edge was better, he was bigger. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He was still as polished when he came back,
Right.
but he was better.
And I just see it as
He found God.
Seth Rollins is essentially the modern day Shawn Michaels.
I'm 100% in agreement with you.
It's his heel work, his face work. I think Seth Rollins just in any situation knows how to make it work.
Yep.
It's the same thing with Shawn Michaels. If I had to see them fight in a match, I would say I would want Shawn Michaels to be the heel because I think Shawn Michaels does heel better,
Okay.
and I think Seth Rollins does face better. Agree? Disagree?
I would say 90s heel, yes. I think Sean got a little PG in the 2000s for
so-
heel.
I still always remember when Shawn Michaels was, I can't remember who he's in feud with, but he was in Montreal, and it was 2004, 2005.
Where he was just clowning and the whole crowd about Bret Hart.
Yep.
That's
And
that's
he
one of the
made-
greatest. That's his best promo of all
He
time.
made the Bret Hart theme song come on, and everybody's like losing it, and he's just laughing in the ring, just
Dude,
hysterically.
In his tan suit.
Oh my gosh! Like
Tan
that promo was like one of the most memorable promos that I watched during that time.
So, in all honesty, in my opinion, see, this is why I love Sean, and especially in 2000s. In the 2000s, I was always like wanting him to go there.
Mhm.
And
Right.
he always impressed me because he wouldn't go where I wanted him to go, but he still got me there without going the grit,
Right,
hardcore. Like I remember with his feud with, was it Hogan? No, it's Triple H when he came back and he's like, you're right, you've got me in all these areas, but all I need is one kick,
Right.
and it will do it. Before super kicks were fucking hoard out and, everybody's using them. They're mother
Yeah.
now. So
right.
I'm with you, man. That's
Super
awesome.
No, yeah.
Here, I have a question for you guys since you guys love Shawn Michaels so much.
Oh my God.
So talking to Seth Rollins, you say he's the modern day Shawn Michaels. He's your favorite wrestler of all time, favorite WWE wrestler. When Seth Rollins retires, is he going to surpass Shawn Michaels?
No, in my opinion, he can't. He can't. You know why? Because I'm 36 now. I'm
Well,
not
yeah.
a kid. And no, truth be told, that's why. Because my as much as I love professional wrestling, unfortunately, it takes a lot more to get me like to that emotional excitement level of believability with everything. Like I still can suspend belief and fall in love with it for different reasons now, and just like the theater of it. But like Shawn Michaels is a better in-ring performer than Seth Rollins. Like I love Seth Rollins, and he could probably do more moveset. But Shawn Michaels, as far as like his facials of selling a storyline, Shawn Michaels is better.
So to take your point on there, to me, that almost seems like that makes Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is one of those few people that can get me there, that can get me to that emotional high.
Okay.
In today's modern day WWE, where I agree with you.
So you're saying
it's-
that makes him a point for him because of that.
Yeah, because I honestly think that he's one of the few guys that can get me to that point where I can get emotional, like where the highest.
He gets me there, but it's just not the same. WrestleMania 25 was probably my peak.
Oh yeah,
was probably my peak.
For me, I think it's just more of the modern day WWE, just with social media and everything like that.
It's just wrestling in general today.
Yeah, it's to me, I think that's even more impressive that he's able to do that in today's modern day wrestling. So to answer your question, I would say I think he has a chance. It's going to be tough because Shawn Michaels is just up there, but
He'll definitely win more championships.
Right,
Shawn didn't
right.
win very many
He
championships.
might have many.
He
already.
already probably does have them.
Right.
I think Shawn won 4 in his entire heavyweight championships. You know,
He only won one when he came back, didn't he?
yeah, and that was early.
Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. He
Yeah.
won the first one, right?
With the brown pants.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Ugly
Brown
brown
pants.
That's
pants.
right. Just to kind of put a cap on that, I just think that I think Seth Rollins more what gets me going today as far as like that excitement level is when I feel like I want something so badly for someone's character. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like I think they're due, or I'm pissed that I'm afraid the company is going to go the other way. So like for a while, and this is what I used to argue. People used to hate on WWE in like 2-3 years ago, right? And I was like, you know who the greatest villain in this match is? It's not the bad guy. It's WWE. So they've almost found a way to like make you watch and hope that they do the right thing.
Right.
And then they were doing the wrong thing so often that you were like pissed.
Right. Yeah.
Like the Bray Wyatt, the Fiend versus Seth Rollins at the Hell in a Cell match,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my
man.
God, they
So
just
over that.
ruined this. And but that was so emotional. Like, I couldn't
Yeah.
sleep that night.
I mean, I think it's like every Fiend match for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I don't want that character to come back.
Uh,
All right, what do you got next, Grant?
All right. So my kind of thing is having kind of styles together.
With you. Oh,
Like,
the same
yeah,
style?
same
Styles
style
make
match,
matchups,
like-
though.
So this one, and you'll love this because it's just car crash.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Oh,
call
God.
it a no DQ match.
Mick Foley?
I thought about also making or being First Blood.
Okay.
So who do you think is my next person? Who's he facing? Not Mick? It's Mick Foley, but Cactus Jack.
Ooh, Cactus
Variation.
Jack. It's got to be John Moxley.
You're 100%
It's
correct.
a blood match.
Yep. I just
Okay.
want, just let them go at it. See what they create
John
together.
Moxley and okay, who's designing more of that match? I'm going Foley.
Yeah, I think Foley a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Moxley's just a guy who's like, let's just do it.
You're booking it. Who you putting over?
There.
Who you putting over?
Probably Moxley in the end.
Okay.
Just because that's who I'd want to see.
Okay.
But Foley's just gonna go. I mean, Foley's gonna put himself through hell for it. It's just something I'd like to see. Because they almost actually did it before. Like it was supposed to be Foley's last match.
Was against
And,
Moxley.
Was against
Ambrose.
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 It was, and they actually had Ambrose they filmed stuff because they have a documentary like about the Shield, kind of from like their independent little bit to when they broke up as a group, and they talk about when Dean Ambrose got brought in. That's how they were going to kind of debut him, was against Foley.
Okay. I like that actually.
It's really like if they would have done that, it would been, in my opinion, it would have been so similar to what happened with Randy Orton. Because I still believe that was the match that put Randy Orton on the map.
Oh,
was when-
the
at
Legend
Backlash-
Killer.
Yeah, at Backlash. At Backlash when he fought the no DQ match against Foley, and he took that thumbtack bump and everything like that. Like that, I feel like that was the match to put Randy Orton on the map.
I agree.
If that were to happen with Dean Ambrose, like when he was in his Shield
gets
days,
that rub.
that would be the match that like would put Dean Ambrose on the map.
up there.
Yeah.
So that's when a car crashes. So I
Oh,
wanna
that
see-
definitely would be a
I
car
wanna see
crash.
that.
Well,
I
Mick
like-
Foley's song starts with a car crash. So, no, I'm with you, dude. I think that stands up. That stands a test of time. You know what's funny about Mick Foley is that he's just a guy that shouldn't have worked.
Shouldn't, but
No.
His body type is worse than Kevin Owens. I mean, it's like Kevin Owens is great because he's just a brawler. I'm gonna be here to fight. But like,
fight
Well,
anyone and everyone.
And Kevin Owens didn't go through all like the brute punishment.
Right.
Mick Foley did.
Mick Foley has half a
Mick
year.
Foley, every time he fought, he's like, I'm guaranteed
Dude
taking
had a-
6 months off my career. right now.
Dude had a tooth go through his nose.
Oh
Like,
my God.
gosh.
dude! he
My
deserves-
God,
Oh
he
my
killed
gosh.
him.
It just going back to and watching old from Japan matches from Japan WCW of
You went back and watched. You guys have honestly
Hell
watched
yeah.
these?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
I can't watch them.
Dude,
They're
when
not
the-
my style.
Absolutely.
I
We
can't
we
do
would
it.
hang out and watch.
we
it.
would almost every single day in college after we'd get done with classes or like go lunch. You want to watch wrestling? Dude, let's go over to because I lived we were in a fraternity together.
Right.
I lived in the house. we would go either and watch in my room or we'd put it on the big TV and we would just watch wrestling.
See, if you said that to me, I'm like, yes, I want to so desperately. Let's watch 95 Royal Rumble.
Oh, dude, we would just watch anything that
really anything you could watch.
There was one summer we were in college, and I think I told you about it too. I just got bored. Like one summer, I was working 2 jobs and literally had no life outside of it. And I was like, I want something like fun to do, like as a hobby. And I go, I'll just make a Google like Excel spreadsheet of like the top 100 wrestling matches. So like I have like an Excel of like top 100 wrestling matches like on there.
You and I are the same person.
Like,
I made a WordPress blog.
Right.
Top 50 greatest wrestlers of all time.
Right.
You're the same person.
Dude, we used to one story. I'll just sorry to get off track, but I remember. So we're watching Royal Rumble. It's the one AJ Styles debuts in, and we're sitting there and watching it, and number 3 hits, and you hear, no, they don't want, and we're like, what is this?
Oh yeah, I remember 2016.
You forgot to mention the fact that the camera was pointed at
the camera's
Roman
at
Reigns.
Roman.
Yeah, the whole time.
And the moment we see AJ Styles, this dude runs out of my bedroom into our like fraternity house, like kitchen, living room, screaming.
They don't want none.
It was awesome.
I was like, oh, he's here.
Dude, it was so. But like we would always do together. Like we'd watch if it was a pay-per-view, we would and it'd usually just be us two because we were the only ones who really liked wrestling. But we'd invite, hey, we're watching this wrestling pay-per-view.
Same thing. Yep.
Dude,
so like I remember we had Mania, a couple people over when the Hardys returned.
Oh, that's great.
That too.
Do you remember when AJ Styles came in with the red and the blue
PBR Cowboy or PBR Pirate?
PBR. No, PBR Power Ranger.
Yeah, PBR Power
Yeah, they call
Ranger.
one of our fraternity brothers has never watched wrestling.
Why does he look like a PBR Power
He
Ranger?
called him the PBR
Dude,
Power Ranger.
let him fighting Shane McMahon.
See, it's so funny because AJ Styles, who I've grown in the last 6 years to, I always thought him in the X division was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Right. But as far as like a on the mic, like a total package, big superstar, I didn't get it. And when he came to WWE, I still didn't really get it. I loved his I did love his and then beat up John Cena. Like I love that.
That's the moment that sold you, wasn't it?
That was
Beat up John Cena.
It truly was. It was the first time where I was like, I had any interest in him. I think he's a little soccer mom corny. I do. But with that being,
he's got the haircut to prove it.
He does. He does.
Hey, he sold us.
But he's a great wrestler.
Hey, he sold us some. We've been boys.
We've been boys.
For a long
Yeah.
time.
When Luke Gallows and
Carl
Anderson debuted, just for weeks, and I mean, still even today.
Let me introduce Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. We've been boys for a long time. I think we quote that like once a week usually to each other.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to give my second was yours, so I'm going to stick with it because I don't want to put something out there into the atmosphere that I don't think is correct. So let's do our next round, and then we're already 45 minutes into this
We're
thing.
having fun though.
Well, we're having a blast.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next round. You tell me what you got.
So, and then finally, last one, Taker would be my third one that I'd want to make a match for, Undertaker. And to me, in my opinion, on the way that things were going on in WWE, I thought, what was the match that I wanted to see Undertaker end on? Like, what was the match that I want to see the Undertaker like have his retirement with? And I wanted a casket match with Undertaker and Aleister Black.
Ooh, that would have been nice.
Because I felt like it would have been the rub that Aleister Black needed.
The rub.
It's I just don't feel like he ever got it. I'm still sour about that situation because he just never got the opportunity to shine.
He would now. Under Triple H, Alistair would get get it fully now.
He'd get that. WWE would make up because that was what everybody wanted with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
is get Bray Wyatt the rub as the next Undertaker, and you could easily make.
Well, they've had 3 incarnations of Bray Wyatt where they should have.
I think.
All right, talk about emotional things. Don't get me going on the Bray Wyatt thing. Well, he's one of my all-time favorites. They have fucked him up 3 times now.
I agree with you. At this point, just let Bray Wyatt go and just end it. Like because you just can't do it.
I think you can bring him back as like a version of the cult leader again, but like this scary gimmick stuff, let's just be done with it. But like my favorite incarnation of Bray is the original. I loved the cult.
Right.
Because he was talking. He was fighting normal. He didn't pigeonhole himself into these things where like he has to fight under red light. He has to, you know what I mean? Like he could fight and we could enjoy it. Like some of the best stuff was the Shield versus the Wyatt family.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I miss those times.
I agree. That was the best incarnation of Bray Wyatt. I feel like if you bring Bray Wyatt now,
I think he's smart enough to reinvent himself again, but it's got to stick.
I feel like he's going to get heat, though, from the fans. And not him specifically, just whenever his matches come out, I don't feel like people get invested because they're going to see
That's why it's got to be normal, though. It's just got to be normal shit now. He's just got to fight normal. He's got to get back. Like, he's got to get – that's why when this last one came out, it was so short-lived. But, like, I thought, oh, great. He's going to be kind of a version of all of them, but he's going to be a wrestler again.
Right.
And that's what he's failed to be. He's not a professional wrestler anymore.
And he doesn't want to do that
sports
anymore.
entertainer.
He's not even that.
No.
He's just a gimmick.
He's an entertainer.
He doesn't
He's
want
just
to
an
do that.
entertainer.
I know when he was gone, he was trying to do the movie route.
Yeah.
He was trying to make movies. So it's like I don't even think I think he likes wrestling, but I don't think that's like his number one priority. I think his number one priority is
killing me to say that. We got to get off this topic. It bothers me so much. It bothers me.
Rob's about to break down.
But yeah,
so much.
Aleister Black, Undertaker, casket match.
I'm for
I
it.
feel like that would be the match to be like send off Undertaker and then bring Aleister Black as the next.
Where's the match? Is it Mania? Would it have been at Mania?
Mania, yeah.
Oh, dude, think about Aleister Black's entrance.
Yes.
Oh, so many.
I know. I feel like we've been cheated out that we never got
so
an
many
Aleister Black like entrance at WrestleMania.
To be honest, we were cheated out of one entrance that mattered, and that was Kairi Sane's pirate ship one.
Honestly,
I love Kairi Sane.
we didn't get the pirate ship.
I know
one,
it. I agree.
No, I would say we got cheated out, never getting the return of the tank from Rusev. That's the biggest cheat out.
Dude, hopefully Miro brings it back. Wembley, just bring it.
Those are the guys like right now, like Miro, Aleister Black. I don't think Cesaro would get any more stock or Claudio, but like those two guys specifically, I think thrive in Triple H's regime.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I think Miro's got a place in WWE if he comes back.
Oh yeah, they'll bring Lana back.
So this is a side note, but it just goes on to Triple H's
Sidebar.
regime, and I just haven't been. I don't know if it's because I haven't been paying enough attention to WWE, but like, is Gargano doing stuff?
He's supposedly this week is supposed to be at Cleveland or they're in Cleveland. They're supposed to be in Cleveland soon, and they're rumored Ciampa's coming back, and they're gonna.
Ciampa did come back.
Did he?
He came back on Monday.
Yeah, he came back.
He
So
came back.
they're supposed to team them back up.
I did
for
see
DIY.
that one because that was the biggest weird one for me because
He was.
I thought Gargano under the
With
Triple
how
H
much-
regime because I feel like Triple H loved him.
I'm with you. He's another guy I don't get. I don't get the fan.
Now Grant's gonna get mad at me here. I'm the same way. I'm not the biggest Gargano fan.
He loves him.
I know he loves Gargano.
All heart, baby.
But just seeing how Triple H is with him, I thought he would be the guy that like Triple
Totally
H
understand what
would,
you're saying, yeah.
be with.
And I still think, but here's what I think about Triple H, guys. Like, this is why when you say LA Knight, you think he needs to win the Money in the Bank. I don't. And I think it's because there's a slow burn and we're ways away from Mania. You don't want to rush these things with these guys. I think Triple H has his finger on the pulse, and I'll give you one example of why. We thought the Bloodline storyline was getting a little bit, a little slow, and then right away, next 2 weeks, bam, he hits us with two big parts of that storyline.
Right.
And he changes it up. And it's like, he's there. He's got it.
Oh, yeah.
Where Vince would have dragged the same shit out for probably another 3-4 months.
100%.
Such good shit.
He would have waited till SummerSlam before something big happened. You know what I mean? And then
Right.
Survivor Series, then so predictable with him. So, what do you got?
Well, this isn't mine, but I was gonna talk about. You guys talked about who HBK should go against. I was gonna say HBK versus Gargano.
Okay.
Because they're like besties. Okay, so last one, we're going a fatal 4-way, but we're doing a submission.
Okay.
Fatal 4-way. So.
Oh, you went 4 guys, dude. What a great.
4 guys.
What a
We're
way to
starting
cheat
out.
the system.
We're starting out. Brian Danielson.
Okay.
So the little bell lock. Bret Hart.
Ooh, you're just gonna go master technicians in the ring.
Next. I know this man loves him. Good old Zack Sabre Jr.
I do love Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay. And the last one. Now, it's Mr. Kurt Angle. But I want specifically Perk Angle from TNA.
I want him doing a front flip off the
Hell
front of the
yeah.
stage.
But just think, I mean, I want to throw Kurt Angle in it because I love Kurt Angle.
Who was your third guy in that? Who'd you say?
Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, Zack Sabre Jr. That's
So,
right.
I mean, he's a master technician right there. I think that would just be a
I would
awesome
like to.
match.
I would like to take him out and put in Chris Benoit. I know Chris Benoit's a tough subject, but
Yeah.
you put Angle and Brian and Benoit, and who was the other guy? Hart. Oh my God, that's just a submission, technical Stu Hart's dungeon dream.
Do it.
Wet dream.
Have the match in the dungeon,
dude. Yes, live stream like WrestleMania 2.
The dungeon.
How cool! I don't know. I would love to see. Like, I don't know. I like multi-man matches.
Oh, I do too.
And
if they're done right.
I like when they have kind of stipulations built in. So like, do a submission fatal 4-way, first person to win, or do. I love and
dude. First person to get a submission in a fatal 4-way
would be
impossible.
But here's the
That'd
thing.
Be awesome
here's the thing
match.
I like. I love, and it's one of my things. Like growing up playing the WWE video games, it was always you could make any multi-man match an elimination match.
Yeah.
So do a fatal 4-way elimination submission match. So
I kind of like it a regular 4-way match.
Yeah,
no, I do. I just think about trying to get a submission.
You would have to like make like you just
that you gave me goosebumps on that one, dude. That's a
let's do
legitimate.
Come on. Give me Kurt Angle, Angle.
Another stimulation to it is they have to tap.
They have to tap.
Yep. They can't just pass out.
Oh, dude, that's
if they pass out, we have to wait 5 minutes for them to wake back up.
They're just automatically eliminated. If they pass out, it becomes a triple threat. Get them out. They're fined $25,000 too.
Put them off in the corner. Put them off in the heart.
I like that. That's my favorite one you've done.
I have a couple. Can I just do my quick honorable mentions?
Sure.
Okay. Give me everything promo and match. Piper Punk. Just
what the hell are you guys doing to me tonight?
Is that yours right
That's
there?
my third one.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Next one.
Why? No, let's talk why. Since we've got my third one out there.
Both really good on the mic.
Who's better?
Piper.
Yeah.
Piper's better.
Piper. Punk is controversial.
Punk's controversial.
I think who can give the better promos, Piper.
Piper's better, and here's why. Punk is in the back. He's written it all. I'm not saying he's doing it, but he's got his bullet points. He knows everything. I'm convinced Piper will go out there, listen to what you're saying, and go off top of his head.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. And I mean, they put on a good match too. You got a brawler versus.
Oh, it'd be a great match. Piper was always, because he was so believable on the mic. His fighting style was fine with me. You know, he's not going to fit in my favorite like in-ring technicians of all time. Yeah. But like like Hogan's not either. But he's my top 2 favorite wrestler of all time. So
Piper goes over, and my 4-week-old daughter is happy. All right, another one. Just because the Giant matchup, Big Show versus Andre the Giant.
Yeah, that's the spectacle, right?
That people want to see. This is just a promo I want, or it could be backstage segment. MJF and Piper.
Oh, I would love that.
Just something little there. Hale, you might
real quick. The big one spectacle. I kind of thought about the opposite side, not big guy versus big guy, but big guy versus small guy.
Ray versus
Andre versus Ray.
That'd be good too.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
So you might like this one, triple threat. And now you could do a fatal 4-way, but I want to go back in history. I want the first 3 Bullet Club leaders.
Okay.
So Balor,
Finn Balor,
Styles, and Omega.
Okay. That would be a dope.
Still doable.
A banger.
That's still doable.
Banger. And then last one.
And still like relative primes. Like AJ's kind of.
Well, AJ's on record saying he's only, and this was like last year, that he only had about 2 years left in him. He doesn't want to wrestle that much longer.
Yeah.
All right. And last
one.
And
then he re-signed with WWE. I was kind of shocked with that.
Because he's been boys. Last one. The American Dream. Dusty Rhodes.
A triple threat with his boys?
No, just singles match versus the American Nightmare Cody. We've had Dustin Cody. I want the same promo.
But yet, the American Dream.
You had Dustin Cody and you had Dustin.
No, we had Dustin and Cody. I want Dusty.
I was going to say in Dustin and Dusty, I think.
Yeah. Curveball. I want Dusty Rhodes to be the villain. Curveball.
I don't know.
I want him to be like, boys, you've never been as good as me.
Or no, but you got Cody built in. You always favored Dustin over me.
Hell, screw it. I want.
And
I like Roman better than you, baby.
I like Roman, my boy.
He's the boy I never hate.
Funky Roman's like a monkey. Boy. But no, I don't know if you guys remember.
First of all, we need to do a podcast where we only talk like Dusty Rhodes the whole time.
Rob, you might not remember this, baby, but Hale, I know you're gonna remember this one. You remember before the first pay-per-view for AEW with my boys.
It was hard times for me and my boys.
It was hard times.
And Dustin got busted open. But you remember that promo before, baby? Oh, that got me going. That Cody Rhodes talking about, I'm not going to.
True brotherly love.
I'm not going to end my brother. I love my brother. I'm going to end the attitude, baby. No, we're getting funky on this one. Oh, I might be a little too big, but I got excited. But no, Rob, did you ever see that promo?
Of course.
Okay,
Of course
that's
I
one
did.
of my favorite like promo videos is Cody talking about, I love my brother, but similar to a horse that's beaten down and spent all that time, you take him out back. And I want a similar promo from
That's
Cody
a great
about
promo.
his daddy. Daddy, you didn't love me no.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
And then Howard Finkel announces, and now in this corner,
I'm for it, dude. Let's do it.
dude, I can't do that anymore. That voice,
My cheeks are sweating so hard I can't stop.
I'm crying over here.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Dude, I like these. This is good. This
Sorry.
is good.
Once again, if you guys expect any list,
If I give you,
I'm gonna come up with like 12 different things. So get used to it, baby.
so listen, baby, we're gonna transition now to the forbidden doors.
Forbidden door. Oh,
The
door.
forbidden. We got more
multiple
than one
doors.
door.
Oh, baby.
All right. So, any other things that you want to comment on fantasy matchups? Because I was with you on the Punk and Piper thing.
Yeah.
I just think they're both. I think Piper could be controversial today if he was in his prime,
yeah.
right?
Sometimes I feel like and this is both for MJF and Punk, sometimes I feel like they get a little too much. Like they're trying to do too much.
The low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
They go for it. Too
MJF's
much.
a big one on that.
Yeah,
Like, where
but
it's-
what I like about him though is that like what he did with Adam Cole a few weeks ago, where he like goes back to an old promo
Right.
and it goes over 90%
Oh, yeah.
of the people's heads, and then you're like, oh my god, that's what he was doing.
Right, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel like Piper was just on the go, just
Just so
whatever.
quick.
Just whatever like sounded good, like he went with,
But his cadence too. You can't underestimate. We can't over talk about how good, just the way he delivered a promo.
right.
You know, like he had a way that can't be like wouldn't even be believable today if somebody was to try
Yeah.
and do it.
Hey,
Yeah.
he was there to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and he's all about.
And I'm all out of
That's
bubble
why he
gum.
was.
All
That's
about
why
it.
he was in Group B of my top 4. Quick one for Hale Brown because I know he would probably like that. His boy Brody King
Brody King.
Brody
in a
King?
matchup against Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody.
Just
That's
beat
a
each
solid
other.
one.
Oh,
That's a solid one.
that's a barn burner.
I think we
Big-
all like the strong
big
style.
dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I love strong style.
Yes,
Big
100%.
men smacking meat.
That was the whole reason I got into New Japan. Was just
New
the
Japan
strong
because of that.
style.
I
No,
can't
you-
because the crowd is so boring to
Dude,
me.
you got
Can't
it.
do
You
it.
got
It's
it.
it's
You
a
got it
respect.
from-
It's a respect thing there. I get it.
When
I
I
just
first
can't do it.
when I first started watching it, I'm just like they're just not into it at all. But it's a respect thing.
I know.
especially like after hearing like podcasts.
But
and
dude,
guys like that. Like,
Tell me if you take those bangers that they've quote unquote had, right? Okada, Omega, right? Right? Am I wrong? That's a banger in your guys'
You
eyes?
better not disrespect
it's
Okada
not
Omega.
it's not a quote unquote. It is a banger.
Okay,
And guess
so-
what? It was at the Tokyo Dome, so give it 3 more
So
stars.
you put it in a AEW crowd or a Mania,
Oh,
it adds so much more to it, right? How many times do you watch it, kind of a shitty Raw, but they got a good crowd, and you're like, was that a good Raw? That was pretty
Right,
good.
right.
Like that
that
turned
great,
out all right.
that great
It's-
crowd in Wichita, Kansas, Rob.
If Danny,
That's our
That's our go-to.
Anytime we want to talk about a crowd, we're
if
talking
Daniel
about
Bryan doesn't have the crowd behind him, does Daniel Bryan ever get there? I thought he had the talent in the beginning, but
The biggest example I have of that is The Rock Hogan at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 18, baby.
Yep.
The
'Cause
crowd flipped. They thought it was gonna be one way, and it went the other way.
The match itself was not really that great.
Yeah.
It's
Dude, you're
it's
100% on here.
It's Hogan just the way that he is. Rock isn't really an in-ring
But
technician.
it's so great
but
because
the
of the crowd.
fans are just losing it.
And this is where I forever, because I was kind of a Rock hater for a while, just because he left and he always wanted to come back. He still kind of wants to do that.
Yeah.
But
He's going to have to now.
to his credit, they went in there with one game plan and they flipped it. And Rock
And they went
totally
with
let
it.
Hogan have his
and they
moment.
went with it.
Totally
Yeah.
let Hogan have his moment. He didn't have
Yep.
to let Hogan have his moment.
Right.
Dude,
right.
it was awesome.
Here's the question: do you think they would let guys today in WWE do that?
Yes, the right guys.
Okay.
If it's Seth and Roman, yes. If it's there's not a lot of guys.
I know.
I think AJ could get that.
I don't think AJ's ever going to get in that position again, though.
No.
No, I think he'll be used as like maybe a main event guy for.
I feel like he's going to fill in the Dolph Ziggler role.
No, he won't go
No.
that far down.
No, he won't go that far.
You know what? And what I
He hasn't
hate
really
is that
done a whole
I kind of
lot.
hate that Dolph Ziggler's allowed himself to do it too. Like
Yeah,
I know
do too.
I
do
know he's
too.
tried forever, but he's kind of accepted that role now, and he's just
Yeah.
doing the stand-up comedian. He's collecting a check.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Last thought, and then we need to move on to this thing. Is I'm a little worried for the Miz.
Yep.
The
I thought the
M-
same thing.
Did you watch Monday night?
Yep. Yeah.
The Miz is
I
kind of
was
in an
like,
area
wow.
right now
I'm
where
like-
the first time in his career he's not been interesting and he feels old. He needs to do it, and I trust that he will, whether it lands or not. He needs to revamp his
yeah. And
refresh his character.
I can fix that for you right now. You bring his dad in. Just let his dad be his manager.
Dude,
Dad,
dad
he's
Hulk
manager.
Hogan haircut. And
I thought the same
put
thing.
Miz
I
and
thought the
Baron
same thing
Corbin
when I watched
together.
Raw.
Put those two together and let them be a tag team. And
I feel like Baron Corbin's done.
no way, dude.
Dude, have you been seeing his stuff on NXT?
It's good. He's
Been
just got to
good.
figure it out. They got to figure out something.
Oh, baby, that's some good stuff.
All right,
Maybe I
boys.
just lost hope.
We are an hour in. I got a dog that's waiting on me, so we've got to.
Dude, just knock out pay-per-view.
We got to move on to Forbidden Door,
All right.
boys.
Okay, matches. I got them pulled up. We'll just go quickly up. Pre-show, Athena versus Billy Starks.
Well, time out. How excited are you guys for this Forbidden Door compared to years past? Like we can
Well,
still
yeah,
give it the due we need to.
The last Forbidden Door, wasn't there a lot of matches canceled?
Yes, and there's a lot, and a lot of the matches were multi-man matches.
Yes.
too, like tag matches.
Well,
or
you get a couple like that
Well,
again
there's
here.
still, yeah, there's still, but
a
there's not.
couple.
It almost seemed like there was only like two.
I
matches
don't think you have a match last year as big as Danielson and Okada is.
Yeah.
this
Okay,
year. Like
Mike-
that match is like superseding everything that happened last year.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, then where does Forbidden Door, as far as AEW pay-per-views within the year, fall for your level of excitement? Like, you know, they've got their version of the Money in the Bank with the chip, the casino,
battle. Yeah.
like.
Honestly, a lot of times I forget when that's happening.
Double or
I'm being
nothing.
completely honest.
Well, I
Like-
think that's
like-
just because we haven't had the reps that we've had with WWE yet.
right.
So-
right. Not that I forget where it's happening, but it's like one of those things where it's like Double or Nothing comes around. I'm like, oh yeah, they
They
got
didn't
that.
do it this year, though. They didn't do it.
Yeah.
They didn't
So-
do it.
Nope.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So, it's,
So where's Forbidden Door fall? Is this the one for you? Like you guys are obsessed with
This is
New
my number.
Japan
This is my number 2.
behind
All
All Out?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because All Out's their mania.
That's their big.
So it's like
yeah.
that's
Forbidden Door is nice as somebody that pays attention to
New
New Japan and pays attention to AEW. That it's like, okay, it's the clash between worlds. Like, you know, it's like you get guys that you don't really think about wrestling each other, like are finally coming together and like facing each other.
Okay,
and stuff.
last question, then we'll get to it. With this Forbidden Door idea, do you really want to? Would you like to see a WWE
yes.
AEW crossover?
AEW crossover.
Whether it's just this pay-per-view once a year, every year.
Here's the problem with it.
'Cause
and
I don't.
I think this is the big glaring problem with it.
Who
If
goes
you
over?
have it, it's going to be old WWE guys. Like majority. I feel like you're going to have Omega, you're going to have Cole, and maybe MJF. But outside of that, I think it's just going to be majority of WWE, old WWE guys.
Like, give me an example. Like, who?
like Ambrose, like Danielson, like
Yeah, so AEW's big guy.
CM
you
Punk,
you
like-
mean it will be a WWE current guy versus an old WWE guy.
yeah, and maybe even a WWE guy that's been there for a while.
But let's say they did it right. Let's say Randy Orton answered the call against Darby Allin. I don't know. Fucking.
It'd be cool, but like you said, I don't know who's going to go over.
Yeah, because I don't think.
I mean, because that.
I think-
Is that because that's the thing, right? Like it ultimately comes down to who's going to go over.
I mean, you're already having issues with this one a little bit with
Kenta.
trying to figure out who's going to go over who, because Kenta is a big one with CM Punk. I think the
match.
I
Everybody
don't
wanted to
think
happen.
it's like for sure like what's going on with it, but the idea is that Kenta doesn't want to lose to CM Punk.
or he wants more money to do it.
Yeah.
So,
I think the shock moment of it all would be awesome, but here's why I don't want it. I think it's better with competition. I think WWE is finally better, and maybe it's the Triple H regime and he doesn't care about AEW at all.
Mm.
But part of me also feels like they are CM Punk. They do have Jericho. They do have Sting. They do have Darby Allin. They do have stars. They do have money. They have production. They have all these things, right? They've
Right.
sold 65,000 tickets for Wembley, right? Part of me does feel like WWE's product is better because
AEW is better.
AEW exists.
Right.
Competition breed.
You know what I mean?
Competition breed.
No,
I think if they
100%
cross over,
agree.
it becomes a slippery slope, and eventually there's a merge
I-
someday, and I just don't want it.
I don't think this is a coincidence that WWE, in my opinion, is the best it's been in the last 10 years. Now that AEW is also here, I don't think that's a coincidence.
No.
You know, I think that's like there's a reason for it.
I do think a lot of it is Triple H, though,
I do too. Like
because Vince has been around.
I don't think Vince at the helm would produce this kind of content.
No,
But
I
it's-
do think
it's-
Vince ultimately
it's-
still gets us there, but like
Right.
it's just not the route we want.
It's Triple H understanding that there's a competition. We need to make sure that we are competing night in and night out.
The biggest difference for me is Vince McMahon, in my opinion, always got us there. Mania always was still, you still left going, wow, that was fucking awesome, right? For the most part. We've had some down ones, but for the most part, like WrestleMania 31 was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The heist of the century, right? And I thought every year they still were pretty damn good. 32 is a lot of injuries. But anyways, the thing with Triple H is that we get there more often. It's like, oh, we're getting these interesting storylines with the bloodline. But anyways, I digress. Forbidden Door. Let's go to the match card.
On one match on the pre-show.
Hale, you get to go first with every prediction, by the way.
All right. Athena versus Billy Starks. I think it's for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship.
Athena.
I think Athena needs this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if not, she's another one that came there and is like nothing.
It's the big women's division shuffle.
Yeah.
Like in between just all of AEW.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many girls that
so kind of all agreement on that one. Next one, CM Punk versus, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. It's Satoshi Kojima. Just a legend.
He's fighting a mountain.
Kojima.
He's fighting a mountain.
Now this is it takes part of the Owen Hart tournament.
It's
CM Punk.
It's CM Punk. Yeah.
Sorry, you're supposed to go first, but it's CM Punk.
No,
That's
fine.
It's part of the Owen Hart.
It's not really a thing.
tournament.
Kojima. I mean, when's the last time Kojima won in New Japan? I don't think he's in New Japan anymore.
No,
is he?
I don't think he is either. He's just a legend. So they.
Yeah.
I don't even think this match should have happened.
Well,
I think Punk should have just been off this card altogether.
Kenta was the one that.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Kenta, who's the originator of the GTS. And
what happened there?
He either wants more money to lose, or wants more money to be part of it. And
so that's what you're talking about. There's already issues.
It's a booking thing where it's like
and they're not going to have Punk lose right away. So
right.
Okay.
Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale for the AEW Women's Championship. Willow Nightingale is the New Japan Strong Women's Champion right now. So, but it's for the AEW Championship.
Tony Storm.
All right, for the AEW All Atlantic / International Championship, Orange Cassidy defends against Zack Sabre Jr., Shibata, and Daniel Garcia.
This is the one I am like most excited for. Actually, honestly, well, outside of Danielson, Okada,
they did put on a very good match on Dynamite. Yes.
Outside of Danielson and Okada, I feel like this is the one like I'm most exciting for, and the one that I can honestly look at and go, I don't know who's gonna win this. If I had to guess, is Orange Cassidy, Shibata, who are the other two?
Zack Sabre Jr. and Daniel Garcia.
I would say Orange Cassidy will retain. I feel like after you win a 30-man battle royale to get it, didn't he win? Like
he did.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
I feel like once you win a 30-man battle royale to get it like back,
With the best way of winning it, just doing that little stupid kick to
it'll
knock off a guy's head.
It'll be a great match, and my heart wants to say Shibata because I love Shibata. And
Shibata is your pure champion.
Yep.
And Zack Sabre Jr. is your New Japan television champion at the moment too.
Yeah, but I would go Orange
I am going because I like where you're at with the Orange Cassidy. He's been a great champion. His matches they're the same thing over and over again.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking them to give Daniel Garcia the shot he deserves. So Daniel Garcia wins.
You're going Orange Cassidy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, all right. Side note, that potentially might steal the show.
I would not be.
That was our shield story.
I don't think it's gonna be Danielson Okada. I feel like I have so high hopes for Danielson Okada, and I feel like Danielson and Okada, knowing who they are,
it's gonna be the show.
I don't think they're going to let that match like not be just an absolute banger of a match.
I still think I think Kenny and Will Ospreay is gonna be better than Okada.
No.
Yes,
I don't like Will Ospreay.
I know you don't like him, but all right, next match.
Another guy I don't get.
The Blackpool Combat Club and their homie.
5 guys. It's 10-man tag.
Takashita, whatever his name is, and Shota Shooter Uno. So John Moxley's young boy, his boy, versus the Elite. So the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, Eddie Kingston, who just hates Claudio Castagnoli for some reason, and Tomohiro Ishii.
It's gonna be the Elite.
Yeah, I think it's the Elite because
be the Elite
they lost the Anarchy in the arena match.
Yeah.
So give them the win there.
It's
all leading to a blood and guts match down the road.
Yeah. I'm with you. The Elite will win. Yes, that's all I have.
Okay. Okay, this one is next. Jericho Appreciation Society. So it's Jericho.
I'm excited
and
about
Sammy
this one.
And Hale's boy, the murder grandpa himself, Minoru Suzuki, versus Sting, Darby Allin, and we don't know yet.
Who's it going to be? Who's their friend?
Sting, Darby Allin, and we don't know yet.
I'll let you go first because I won't pick the same person.
I have a feeling it's going to be Naito because Naito is the bigger name to come over. I'd really rather want it to be Shingo Takagi because I think Shingo Takagi is better than Naito in my opinion. But Naito is the more recognizable name from New Japan, so I would agree with you. I'm going to guess Naito.
Well, if they're going to tease, it's going to be Naito, right? Because you want that pop from the crowd.
Because Shingo Takagi is a former champion.
Yeah.
He's a former champion over there, but just the name
He's
value.
not a name brand.
Yeah, just the name value. Yeah. Naito's the bigger
So
name.
since you guys both went Naito, I'll go Takagi just to be different.
Okay.
Why not? Next, for the AEW World Championship, the BBB, we got Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace. That man is going to be air guitaring it in the ring.
So
who do you got winning?
So Tanahashi.
Is this for the belt?
It is for the BBB.
Yeah,
Tanahashi, in my opinion, is like the Dolph Ziggler, a more higher brand version of Dolph Ziggler over in New Japan. It seems like nowadays he just fights the next.
Dude, he does whatever he wants.
Yeah, he just fights the next biggest thing and just puts them over, which is great. Awesome.
He still wins.
Good for him.
But he's outside of Dolph Ziggler.
He does still win.
Yeah,
he does still win. But I think when it comes to like the main big matches that like put people over, he's always the guy that's
can we just say
go over.
Similar to last year, Tanahashi had the match for the championship, right? Was he? Yeah, because the main event was for the IWGP championship. There's no way they're not keeping it on the champion.
No, there's no.
Especially
this isn't even a debate. Like MJF is your best thing going.
Yeah.
So
that ain't coming off him.
It's I don't want to knock the pay-per-view itself, but it's what I was talking about with WWE and AEW. I feel like a lot of these matches are really predictable.
Yeah.
Like, it's like obviously MJF's not going to lose to Tanahashi.
And obviously the next match we go over that.
Obviously that one's going to go to the champion.
So we all have MJF. Here, I want to throw a bet in there. Does MJF win clean or not?
No.
I say yes, he does because of the storyline with Adam Cole. He wants to prove that he's as good as he's saying. I think he actually wins clean.
Interesting.
Okay.
I just want to be different than you guys too. Okay. Oh, side note, Rob, chop bet.
Oh, okay.
How many super kicks?
Oh God! In what match?
In what one?
No, in the elite one because you have the Young Bucks, Hangman Page who does a super kick now, and Sammy Guevara on the other side because Jericho and Suzuki aren't doing super.
So what's the over under?
I'd love to see Suzuki do a super.
So
kick.
our over under
20.
Oh, it's over. It's over 20.
I'm going under.
I'm gonna go under.
Super kicks.
I feel like
there's gonna be 5.
The Young Bucks are at least throwing 10 by themselves.
Yeah. I feel like the fact you have Jericho and Suzuki, unless Suzuki's
all right, I don't want to set the number at 20. Then.
Unless Suzuki,
you have to give me a number.
Unless Suzuki's
what you think it's going to be?
A number? 16.
I had 18 in my head.
I'm gonna go 12.
You're going 12. You're going 16. All right, I'll give us a bigger buffer zone. I feel like I'm gonna get chopped this time though. Trying to avoid your big hand coming at me.
I'm chopping the shit out of you if I win.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. You got 12, 16.
Hey, if I lose,
I'm gonna go 18. So let's do Price is Right style though. Let's do Price is Right style where, but we'll do it opposite where your bet is no longer eligible if you're under it.
Okay.
So like if it's 13 super kicks on the show and you said 12, even though you're closest, you're no longer eligible.
But what if it's like 8?
And you're the closest, then you would win.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. And I said if it's over 25, similar to how we had with
then
Walter,
we
both chop each other.
We both chop each other.
Yep. Everybody chops each other.
Over 25, we both chop each other. I'm gonna say 19.
If I lose, can we record you chopping me on Sunday? And you can put it in the beginning. Put it in the beginning video. Like this one of your guys' podcast next week.
Yeah. We'll record it.
Just scream. All right. I'm excited for that. No matter who gets chopped, that's got to be.
That's a good chop bet.
Yeah. All right. We got to have one. Next one. Do I even Sonata versus Jungle Boy? Sonata's winning. There's no way he's losing that title.
It's Sonata.
Sonata
It brings up the point where it's like your champions are like obviously not going to.
This is going to be a great match.
Yeah, it'll be a great match. Like,
but it's going to be.
And that's the thing, because it's like I feel like all these matches are going to be good matches. Like I have no doubt that like any of these, even Punk Kojima, who I'm the least excited for, I feel like that's going to be a good match. Like,
I think with this card, it's okay that it's predictable.
Right.
Just as long as the matches hold up. Right. You know what I mean? Like predictability doesn't mean it's wrong, guys. It's just gotta be exciting. The journey has to be exciting for the destination.
I want you to know that Sonata's gonna win, and his stable, known as Just Five Guys, is gonna be happy.
Okay. I'll take Sonata because it makes sense to me.
Right.
You sold me out.
Next. So the big two main event, I think they're toning them as main event,
double main event.
I think so I'm just gonna go because the order they have them on here. Danielson versus Okada.
Danielson
over
he's had a lot of losses lately.
I feel like
on the big stage.
I agree, but I feel like if there's one guy that he can survive a loss from,
it's Okada.
Well, I mean, he can survive. He's Teflon. He can survive any loss.
Yeah.
But he's got to get a win here, doesn't he?
I am going.
And the other thing is too is I don't feel like Okada would agree to a loss to Danielson, but I feel like Danielson would agree to a loss to Okada.
Okay.
See,
and that's part of the reason why he left WWE, right?
Yeah.
And they were going to let him. I thought there was going to be that contingency in his contract where he could, and then he still left.
I'm going to go Okada.
I'm going Okada, and it's good. I'll explain my reasoning because it's going to tie into the next match.
All right, I'm taking Brian.
So Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP United States Championship. I'll go first. I'm going Will Ospreay.
You got the Elite winning earlier, and you got Omega losing now.
I got Omega losing now. Will Ospreay wins. They're going to have a rematch at Wembley.
Yeah,
they'll do the triple. Yeah. They'll do the third match. My reasoning for picking Ospreay, other than I want to see it's going to be a trio, is I want Okada to be Danielson, Ospreay to beat Omega, building doubt into each of the leaders of their group. Because, in all honesty, recently Bryan Danielson's been kind of the vocal leader of the Combat Club, and Kenny Omega's the leader of the Elite. So going into, we're going to Blood and Guts, but your two leaders are kind of like down because they had these big matches.
I think the opposite, and I think they're both going to be up. But I get it. It could be.
Once I heard that it was going to be Ospreay Omega rematch,
who won the first one?
Omega.
Ospreay was champion at Wrestle Kingdom. Omega won. And
when was this match?
Right at the start of the year.
Yeah, right at the start of the year.
Will be the match of the year as when the year ends.
I immediately thought that they're going to have 3. Like I immediately,
they got
it. Once they announced this rematch, I'm like, they're gonna have a third one.
Where's Will Ospreay from?
England.
And they're gonna have him lose in Wembley?
No, I don't think he'll lose at Wembley. I think because he's
so then he's got to.
I don't know if you're gonna let Omega lose to Ospreay
in Wembley in England.
I'm just thinking about it.
And Ospreay is a New Japan guy.
So here's the thing.
New Japan wants
maybe I'm biased just because I don't like Will Ospreay.
I know you hate him.
So you're saying that Ospreay is going to go over twice?
Yes, Ospreay will win the rivalry.
Okay.
Because this whole thing, too,
whatever happens, I just believe Ospreay's going to win in Wembley. That's all I believe.
The whole thing, the storyline is been built around that when Kenny left, Will was the guy to step up. And the whole thing is that, yes, Will Ospreay did end up winning the heavyweight championship. He's won all these belts. But when Kenny came back and challenged him, was that you left, you're still not as good as me.
Yeah.
New Japan does not see you as a top guy. That's why you're not there. I can still come back and be the top guy. So Omega gets the belt back. Omega wants the rematch. Ospreay wins, and Ospreay can continue it back into pro. They can push him still with the IWGP Championship and then push him back to where they want him. He has one of the hottest factions in New Japan with the United Kingdom. Fuck it. David Finlay comes out of nowhere and attacks somebody, and Bullet Club shows up finally.
Because I think that's the big
full life, except for AJ Styles.
I just think it. I think it. I'm with you. I just think Ospreay. I'm with you. I think Ospreay.
New Japan loves trio 3 in their big high profile matches. They love, especially with Kenny Omega.
I think Omega wins I just think Omega wins the rivalry, but I think Ospreay goes over at the end. I think he wins the Wembley.
So
matchup.
Taking Omega.
I'm taking Omega. Yeah.
I think in order to have the 3 matches, I feel like Ospreay will win the rubber match. Like I just feel like he's gonna win the second one,
And then,
just to lead on to the third.
Gotcha.
one.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
God, it's going to be a good match.
What match steals the show? We'll go with some of our prop bets real quick.
Omega.
I feel like Okada Danielson.
And you thinking Omega Ospreay?
Yeah. It already did. It's already right now the number one match of the year.
Yeah, but think about the expectations of trying to
Oka-
repeat that.
But Okada Danielson's never wrestled.
I think that's why. I think the first time appearance of that.
And my thing is I look at Danielson and I look at Okada, and both of those guys have had matches that you can say have been the best matches of that given year. And this is the first time they're getting together. Okada is such a perfectionist, and Danielson is such a perfectionist that I feel like the one time that they're going to wrestle each other, there is no way that they're going to let that match
You think this is the
not be the best one of the
this
card.
is the one time they wrestle? They're never going to wrestle again after this? When Danielson's been fighting to get in the G1?
I think they might, but I think that with Danielson's neck and everything like that, Danielson
Is he going to be able to survive a New Japan style match?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things with Danielson. I'm sure he's probably thinking it too, where it's like, how many more matches I got?
Yeah.
I don't know how many more matches I got. So at this point, him versus Okada is the only time I see it as of right now it happening until a second one happens.
Fair enough.
Great logic
Fair
behind that.
enough. What was I going to say for? Come back to me if I remember. I'll remember it.
Okay.
Shibata match is going to be good. That Fatal 4-Way.
That Fatal 4-Way would be good too.
It's going to be a tight.
That'd be a crowd favorite. That's how I look at it. But
Yeah.
I think when you know what I mean?
It's just knowing how Shibata and Zack Sabre Jr. are as wrestlers, and Daniel Garcia too as wrestlers. Orange Cassidy,
He's the odd man out.
He can be a good wrestler, but it's just
It's all gimmick. It's all show.
He's gonna do his stuff, and
I think it's
is
time
what
for
it
him
is.
to
He needs
not do his stuff. The crowd wants it, not deliver it.
it's just
Because I think he needs to do something different now.
yeah.
You want to? I have just a couple prop bets. How many times in Okada Danielson do they zoom out from Okada when he does his arms out? How many times?
Just
So
once.
just once?
Yeah, just once.
Once. I think twice because they're going to interrupt it once. They love doing that. Interrupting it. I'll do twice.
I'm going once. I have no idea.
Once.
You know what I'm talking about, right? So when
I
Okada sets up to do his move, he
It's-
puts his arms out. Similar how the best friends.
Yeah,
hug
yeah,
in
yeah.
I
the
was
match.
gonna
Okay.
say
Okay.
best friends hug.
Yeah, he
And the
opens his arms
crowd
out,
or the
yeah,
camera
they zoom
goes-
out
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
I think they'll do it twice because Danielson will interrupt it. I had one more I wanted to bring up. Do we see Kota Ibushi in any form?
No.
Okay.
does John Moxley bleed?
Dude, don't even question that.
We had a time
How long?
spot. How long is usually the question?
How long? What are you saying?
It's not an.
I was
it's a
wrong last
win.
time. I came
You were
I was way
over. I was under.
I was way over.
Right. I was like
you were close.
very close.
You
to
said
it.
like 5 minutes,
minutes, and it was like 4 minutes and like 40 or 54 seconds or something like that.
gosh.
I think because of how many people
10
are in this
minutes,
match,
10
it's got to
minutes.
be longer,
10
right?
minutes.
I'm gonna say, 10 12 minutes mark.
I still remember when our buddy Nagel, he went and said that, oh, it's John Moxley match, he's gonna bleed. And I came to the defense of John Moxley. I'm like, oh, it doesn't happen that much.
It happens every single time.
And then I watched the match and saw it happen, and 2 weeks later it happened again. I'm like, dang, it is every match.
I'm gonna say he doesn't bleed.
That's why MJF,
AEW Forbidden Door 2023. John Moxley does not bleed.
it's
He
like
leaves
after
clean.
after the match, or after MJF's match, when they interviewed him and said, "How do you feel about not going on last? What do I want to crawl around in John Moxley's blood?"
Yeah, exactly. See, okay. Final thought on Forbidden Door from me, and then I'll let you guys wrap it up because you're more invested in it long term than I have been. I got to be honest. A lot of these names, I can't even tell you who they are. Okada, I have a little bit of understanding who he is.
He's the GOAT.
I'm with MJF. Now, I know he's speaking in jest, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
That's a Japanese independent company.
That's how I feel. I know that. Yeah, kind of, sort of. That's sort of how I feel about it. Now, I am very much an elitist when it comes to professional wrestling. I look at WWE as the pinnacle, and I love the territory days. I love all that stuff, but there's a reason WWE came about. There's a reason they've been around for as long as they have. And I think I do look at them as the kind of the standard. And I know that can be tested. And I do believe that AEW is a great alternative, and they exist because WWE dropped the ball for so long. Otherwise, they probably won't even get here if WWE does their job. But with that being said, that's how I look at New Japan Pro Wrestling as TNA. That's how I look at them.
That's disrespectful.
When January comes back up, I need to come back up here and watch Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, we'll watch Wrestle Kingdom at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, that's fine.
But I also would change my mind if I seen this. So like I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna be excited about it, and I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Rob, I know how much you love Dave Meltzer, so but he's given a 7-star match. I know the star ratings people don't mean like. It's special. It is. You remember we sat there and we watched Revolution together. It was your first time. I cried watching Rob
my cherry.
Just breaking that cherry. I cried also when Rob came walking back in with pizza from Hungry Howie's. It was beautiful. He did miss Moxley bleed.
I did. You're right. I was like, I can't believe that happened.
Well, it's okay. Just wait for the next show. You'll see it again.
I don't know. New Japan. I think they have something that. It's hard to because it is that strong style and
it's a different product.
It's definitely it follows that sport. It's more of that sport.
Yeah, okay.
With the realism.
That's my hot take, big bullshit take. If I'm being honest, I'm glad it exists. Here's how I feel. I hate Star Wars, but I'm glad it exists.
Better be.
It's just not for me. Yeah. I'm not into like talking Chewbacca's. Like, brrr, you got a point there. I'm not into that.
Good for someone who hates Star Wars.
Right,
but here's my point.
Secret Star Wars fan.
Yeah, my point is that I can't get into it because it's just not for me. But I'm glad it exists, right? Because it just showcases how another variation of what I do love is professional wrestling more than anything. And if somebody was to attack a New Japan Pro Wrestling, I would be like listing all the reasons you love it for why it's an incredible, awesome thing. Right. Every time we do this, I unfortunately have to compare everything to what I believe is the best.
If he watched one Toru Yano match, he would fall in love with it. Yeah, he'd love it.
I can't because you guys are in all the flips. All that stuff always felt choreographed.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I don't
it
feel
feels
like they
too
do
choreographed
that
to me.
Outside of your like. Because they have the divisions like the junior heavyweight division. That's where like your cruiserweights, you're going to get the flips. Your big top guys do not do most of those.
I mean, even a lot of your junior heavyweights
now are not doing it. I mean, back when you had like Ospreay
I'm thinking of guys.
But it used to be
like
that
Ishimori and guys like Hiromu Takahashi. It's they have every now and then they'll do a dive and stuff like that. But
I was just saying,
it's not every time.
Hey, Toru Yano is literally just a comical wrestler. He literally walks around trying to sell people his DVDs.
Yeah,
I love that.
He will go to the ring post, and instead of having the 3 turnbuckles, they have just one giant pad. Every match,
he takes it off
when it starts. He will not lock up with the person across from him. He will turn around to one of those ring pads, immediately run to it, and start trying to unwrap it so he can use it as a weapon.
That's
I know you're not a Luke Gallows fan either.
I'm not.
They literally had a whole couple month-long feud between Toru Yano and Luke Gallows because Toru Yano kept punching Luke Gallows in the balls.
Okay, I'm being honest. I haven't seen this as much as you guys have, so I get it. I have checked out the product from time to time, but not nearly as much. I just remember every time I watched it, I was like, this just always felt very choreographed to me, and I'm more of the improvised thing. But if you're telling me it's different, then it's different, and I'll watch it, yeah.
Hey, so let's just have a match like Naito and Ibushi and just have Ibushi land on his neck 25 times in it. Just you're like, oh, that guy's about to die.
Sometimes it gets like brutal.
That's what he loves.
I love it, man.
The fork stuff when they brought out the fork, and I'm like, why? I can't.
Dude, you turned away.
I mean,
I won't watch it.
Oh yes,
I do when it's done safe. But like Naito had to be out for a bit because he fell on his neck like one too many times.
I like it within the realm of
You got to do those neck bridges, build those neck muscles up.
Yeah, speaking, we got WWE. Looks like tables, ladders, and chairs from 2000 and it's got to be 15.
Cena versus Rollins.
14.
We got J&J Security.
I feel like this is the first.
This is 15
I feel like
or 16.
this is the first pay-per-view we watched.
It might have been
because it was. Oh no, because Seth was. It was the first one where Seth brought out the white pants.
No, the first one we watched together was Mania, where Rusev came out on the tank.
Oh, great!
Because we didn't know we didn't know that we both loved wrestling, and then
was there
watching together.
I was there.
We still need to go to a Mania.
Oh, dude, we got to go. We got to go to SummerSlam. What are we
It's in
doing?
Detroit.
Can we go to
SummerSlam's in
SummerSlam?
Detroit.
Is this a possibility?
Where's it at?
In Detroit.
It's in
Ford Field.
Detroit.
Detroit?
Yeah.
I'll drive up for Detroit.
Detroit.
I mean, I don't know what your financial status is with your children now. You just got a couple. You got another.
Oh, I got no children. It's great.
Hey,
I got all the money in the
it's
world.
groovy, baby.
It's groovy,
we going to
baby.
SummerSlam.
We
All
going to
right, ladies and
SummerSlam.
gentlemen. Hale, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah.
hope you had a good
Thanks for
time.
having me.
Hopefully, you can say someday that I was on the original year of that.
Yeah.
And when we get to year 10 and we're
You're 10
making big
and
bucks.
We have 30 followers.
And thank
you know what?
And thank you.
And thank you. That's a real possibility. I can see us doing it for 10 years.
Dude,
and then-
we're the next Cult of Cornet. People are gonna watch this and be like, they're gonna be like, man, these guys just spit.
No, then I won't tell people I was on here.
Hey, no, because what will happen is that somebody down the road will be like, you know what? They've been doing it for 10 years. They're the New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast. That's what they are.
I'm fine with that. Give me that.
And Steven Larson's WWE.
Yeah, Steven Larson's WWE.
All right, guys. We'll see you on down the road. Hey, we'll be back on Sunday night, 7 o'clock.
Actually, yeah. Well,
Now,
yeah.
that's when the pay-per-view is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So do we want to get it? What will you be doing?
I don't know at the moment.
We'll
be in
let you
contact.
know.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna be watching.
We'll let you know.
We'll probably watch it in some form. So
Okay.
we probably figure something out.
All right, we'll talk. See you on
All
down the
right.
road.
Bye bye.
Too sweet.